What's up, guys? I'm Doofus Mcdooface, and this is my idea for a sort of learning series, sort of a unit breakdown series. I'm going to take one unit, and I'm going to sort of give my thoughts on it, situations I'd use it, what my stats are with it, and if we have time, we'll even look at like the top game with it. So without further ado, we're going to start with the Peewee. All right, I'm going to go T1s up, start with the Peewee.
Welcome.
When
Nova.
and where would I ever use a Peewee? You used to be able to use it for a shitty Fiesta, right? You used to be able to use Peewee for a crappy Fiesta, right? If you guys have ever seen it, has to be the middle, right? You go veteran, you go that stemmed. Although it seems like the new patches, there's a chance that this could hold. So the very few times that I have done the Peewee open, I just do it equal, and I'll just leak a couple more creeps if I'm playing Fiesta. Right? That's if I'm playing Fiesta. It should leak. I think Peewee as a unit, it's a fine, cheap T1, you know? Of the arcane tanks, it's alright, you know? I wouldn't have it at my top, right? Of course, I'd probably go with Steeds or Willishrooms or Gargs. You know? See right here, I get the God Fiesta. Right? If you play Fiesta, that's fantastic, right? If you play Fiesta, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's just a good unit to place in the split. You know, like if you had a Poda.
Welcome to Nova.
If you had a Poda, you can easily use something like that. Nothing wrong with it. I don't know. Like I guess as I'm doing this breakdown, I'm not in love with the Peewee, but like it's still a necessary unit. Like I've probably had the unit 200 games this season. I've got to imagine I've used it 200 games this season. Here we go. We got 9-2 with the Fiesta Peewee start. Wow. 9-2 with Peewees. Actually one of my best opening performance units. So when I open with Peewee, it actually goes really well. Okay. And how about the Veteran? Veteran, of course, being its upgraded version. Veteran, not much better. Not much better. A little bit higher win percentage. Just have only used it 70 games. So I was way off. Only 70 games. Situations where you can use a veteran would be like wave 7 or 8. You know, you're getting a big send, and I mean you have nothing, right? You have no pierce damage. Right? Let's say you had like a Poda or something. You had Poda and a bunch of Peewees. Right, I don't know why you'd ever have that. But what you do is you'd want the stemmed vet to live and be your top DPS, right? I mean, I should get shredded here, but right, look at this. It's gonna be a perfect tank. Perfect pro split. The Poda will live, the stem Peewee will live, everybody's happy, right? And it's my top DPS. Oh no, the Poda died. But now this stemmed veteran is just going off. What is a stem? Stem is 20 gold. It increases the attack speed, but it makes its damage way better. Like, look at this hold. That is a pro leak right there. 470 value. Massively under. Right? Massively under. Says you need recommended value 610. Normal games, people have about 700. So I'm 230 value under. Alright, 230 value under. And for just 20 gold, I was able to nearly hold there. The problem with this stem, just like the Infiltrators and Orchid Shurikens, is it's a risk, right? And they have it for the Peewees as well. Peewees have it as well.
Welcome to Nova.
Alright, Peewees. much cheaper. And you saw that I used that on the Wave 1 Fiesta example, right? It's a 5 gold, almost no damage, right? Like, really, the only time you'd want to stim the Peewee is for splitting purposes. Oh, that's a great example. That's a great example. So when would I use a Peewee split? I would have Phoenix. Taken. Butcher. Okay. Let's say that the game did not give me any... The game did not give me any range split, right? And I want the Butcher on my Phoenix because I want it to use its health pool. I don't want it to just be up there and just die and not have Butcher. I want it to catch the split breakdown. So what you can do with the Peewee, right? You can stim it every time, every wave you could, or every wave you know you're getting sent. And what this will do is it will kite the units, right? The units are going to go dot, 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 dot. And because it's ranged, they're farther back, which causes them to attack. Let's try. Oh, let's try wave 13 here. Let's see how the stim does. I think it's gonna pull 2 creeps. Yeah, pulls 2 creeps. And look, now those creeps are on the Phoenix, right? So I kited 2 onto the Phoenix. I will die because I have no value, right? Like, no value here. But as you can see, you can sort of use the Peewees to sort of kite units like that. There's also like wave 15 spam. This was a lot better back in the day. It was much better back in the day, before they changed wave 15. Before they changed wave 15, and in order to spam, you can just click the unit and then hold down shift. I don't really like doing it. All right. So the point in the Peewee spam on 15 or 19, you can also do it at 19. Very rarely would I ever spam like this on wave 11, right? Just talking about ranged waves. But 15, I think this is the best. Wave 15, they're a good arcane tank, right? They're a good arcane tank. They're cheap, and they're the correct defense, right? Because you want arcane. And so as long as you have some damage, right? Let's add one more Zuka. As long as you have some damage, your damage is able to go off while these guys are supposed to just waste time. So I probably leaked just the boss here. I'm like 800 value under, right? See, the Peewees are just, I mean, it's not bad. Like, they've lived for quite a while here. They live for, like, look, I just killed half of the wave. I killed half of the wave. And honestly, I think this is holdable with a good split. All right, you know what? Just for me, I kind of want to see a better split here. Right, the reason the split was so much is this is a melee unit. This is not. So here's another great example: is using the Peewees on 15 as a spam. Oh, this should easy hold. This should easy hold. See, I get a little bit of a split tank here. Right, the APS died. I guess it's pretty much the exact same. I did get one shot off on the boss, but yeah. So that's a pretty good example. Almost helped. I didn't know if I was gonna give a tier system. I think I'm just using situations. I would never lock in the Peewee. Would never lock it in. If I had redraw, I would very rarely use it. Like, Peewee is not a unit that you choose to use. It's just like, oh, okay, it's my arcane tank. You know, it's cheaper than Sand Badger. Like, I'm not a big Sand Badger guy, right? I'm not a fan of the Badger. So I do like the cheaper one. It's great for the split. I rarely ever use the stim, right? You'd use the stim on 7 or 8. It's just such a risk, right? 20 gold early game is painful, right? And just so you guys know, if you newer players are watching this, please don't just stim every wave. I have seen plenty of new players just stim the veterans every wave. Every wave. Even when you're on value, like wave 4 stimming, wave 5 stimming, wave 6 stimming. It's really only going to be efficient on the waves you need it, right? Only efficient on 7, 8, I guess 10, right? If you have absolutely no damage on 10, right? Wave 10, Pierce, a stim veteran can be okay, but that needs to be your last resort. That needs to be your absolute last resort. All right. I wanted to check one more thing before I summarize my thoughts here. Let's go to leaderboards, top games. Where is the Peewee? Okay, here we go. We got veteran by skills, so it's probably a fiesta. Yeah, it's a skills fiesta, right? So he did it a little different. He did a little different, but he did not stim it, right? He did not stim it. So without the stim, there's no risk that you're going to hold. If you're fiesta, you need to leak on wave 1 with this, right? So let's see where he goes from here. Okay, he held with the bazooka, and he held a snail as fiesta. That was weird. Then he just pushes. Oh, he stemmed here. See, he stemmed here, guys. I don't really like that, because then he's not going to get a fiesta. I guess he expected a send. Okay, looks like he's sold. Sold for the Zerker. See, does he ever get any more Peewees? Oh, this is a crazy game. This is a crazy game. What in the... Okay, that's a nutty one. All right. Very low worker game. So he only placed one veteran the whole game. All right. One veteran, you know, but it was necessary for the fiesta, you know? If you don't have good fiesta options, veteran is perfectly acceptable, right? On wave 1 and wave 3 it's really good. Wave 2 you can't get punished, right? And I think that's why he built the bazooka. Do we see any just straight Peewees? Right there, we got Peewees. Now this is plat, but let's see how they worked with it. Oh, is he also fiesta? He's also fiesta. This is awesome. So here's a crazy one. Here's a crazy one. There's the veteran on 3, right? There's the veteran on 3. This is a fine fiesta, right? Yeah, Peewees are amazing for a fiesta. Oh, look at that one. That's a beauty. That is a beauty. Couple of veterans. Don't pay attention to all the builds. But yeah, just perfectly fine unit. Once again, I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's just like average unit. Do I have any Peewees in my last games? I don't think so. See, I haven't used it in a while, right? I only use it when it's the last possible resort. I will take Steed. I will take Canopy over it, right? Even the slimes now. But there are situations where it can be useful. It can be useful. Really feel like I've just been talking in circles. But that's what you guys watch me for. So my final thoughts are Peewee veteran, cheap T1. Can be useful for kiting splits with the Peewee stim. You have the veteran stim for big sends early. Help you survive big sends early, not just for fun. I don't think you should ever do it just for fun. Where's this bad boy at? Right. Spamming it on 15, sometimes 19, right? Usually if you have any other better unit to spam on 19, that would be preferred, but 15, good spam unit. Yeah, just a good unit to drop in the split. I don't ever want it on Butcher. I don't ever want it on an APS. White main, I don't want it on any of that stuff. I simply just want it in the split, basic arcane tank, sometimes the kite units. Those are my thoughts on the Peewee veteran. Hopefully this was useful. I literally just spent 15 minutes talking about Peewees.